This is Car Show, and if you believe that the perfect driving machine exists at the intersection of everyday usability and genuine racetrack capability, then the car we're about to discuss is the one you've been waiting for. Before we get into the details of the highly anticipated 2026 Corvette Grand Sport, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way to ensure you catch the moment we finally get to test this masterpiece. The C8 generation of the Corvette has given us the revolutionary Stingray, the high-revving Z06, and the all-weather hybrid E-Ray. But Chevrolet has traditionally saved a specific nameplate for the true driving purist, the Grand Sport. This rumored 2026 model, sitting conceptually between the base Stingray and the exotic Z06, is predicted to be the ultimate sweet spot, combining the best components from the entire C8 lineup into a singular, finely honed machine designed for relentless balance and driver engagement. The philosophy of the Grand Sport has always been simple. Take the approachable, high-volume engine and pair it with the track-ready chassis and wide-body styling of the most extreme model, creating a car that is easier to live with daily than the Z06, but significantly more capable than the standard Stingray. For the 2026 C8, this translates into a truly captivating visual package. The body of the Grand Sport would be defined by the aggressive wide-body fenders and enlarged air intakes borrowed directly from the Z06 architecture. This means the car is approximately 3.6 inches wider in the rear than the Stingray, a necessity not just for the menacing aesthetic, but for accommodating the massive wheel and tire package. The wide haunches are a signature of the Grand Sport badge, offering an instantly recognizable look that communicates enhanced performance. Aerodynamically, the Grand Sport would wear a more assertive front splitter and a specific fixed rear spoiler that is more aggressive than the Stingray's Z41 unit, but potentially less extreme than the full high wing of the Z06's Z07 package. However, it still generates substantial downforce to keep the car planted at speed, particularly on undulating back roads or sweeping track corners. Crucially, the Grand Sport would likely honor its heritage by offering a distinctive exterior graphics package, traditionally involving the full-length dual racing stripes or the classic fender hash marks, paying homage to the original Grand Sport race cars. Engineered by Zora Arkus Duntov in the 1960s, outpowering the 2026. Grand Sport is expected to be the familiar and phenomenal 6.2-liter LT2 V8 engine. This is a critical distinction from the Z06's highly complex, high-revving flat-plane crank LT6. The Grand Sport maintains the traditional cross-plane crank design of the LT2, delivering that unmistakable deep American V8 rumble that many purists still prefer for street driving. When equipped with the performance exhaust system, the LT2 produces a healthy 495 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. While this output is 175 horsepower shy of the Z06, the key is the engine's tractable, low-end torque delivery, making it highly usable in daily traffic and immensely rewarding when launching. The transmission remains the lightning-fast Tremec 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, DCT, but it would likely be tuned with slightly more aggressive shift mapping than the Stingray, yet retaining the Stingray's taller gearing ratio for better highway manners and fuel economy, a characteristic that always defined the Grand Sport's blend of performance and touring ability. This powertrain configuration ensures the Grand Sport remains accessible to maintain and predictable at the limit, while still offering explosive acceleration. The magic of the Grand Sport lies in how it manages this power. By utilizing the wide-body chassis, engineers can fit considerably larger contact patches, which are essential for cornering. The 2026 Grand Sport would roll on staggered wheels, likely 20 inches up front and 21 inches in the rear. But crucially, they would be wrapped in exceptionally sticky Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, instead of the Z06's Extreme Cup 2Rs, the PS4S tires. Provide phenomenal dry grip for track use, but are also manageable and compliant for street driving and offer superior performance in wet conditions, aligning perfectly with the Grand Sport's dual nature. The wide track width and wider tires significantly increase the car's lateral grip and stability, pushing its cornering capability far beyond the base Stingray, enabling the driver to sustain lateral acceleration numbers well over 1.0 G. Underneath the flared bodywork, the suspension would be anchored by Magnetic Selective Ride Control, MRC 4.0, which is expected to be standard equipment on the Grand Sport. MRC 4.0 is Chevrolet's continuously variable damping system that uses an iron particle-infused fluid within the dampers, allowing the car's computer to instantly adjust damping firmness in milliseconds. The beauty of the Grand Sport's tuning would be in the calibration of this system. It would likely feature a slightly stiffer spring rate and bespoke shock tuning compared to the Stingray, offering increased control during hard cornering without reaching the punishing stiffness of the Z06's track-focused FE7 suspension setup. This tuning ensures that the Grand Sport is responsive enough to attack a road course with confidence, while still providing a comfortable ride over rough pavement, honoring the Grand Sport name, which implies high-speed touring ability as much as track prowess. The presence of the electronic limited slip differential, ELSD, would also be standard, a key component lifted from the Z51 Z06 parts bin to ensure precise torque vectoring and maximum traction out of every corner. Equally important to the cornering is the stopping power. The Grand Sport cannot utilize the base Stingray brakes and hope to survive repeated track days. Therefore, the Grand Sport is expected to feature a braking system close to, or identical to, the Z06's high-performance steel rotors and large Brembo calipers, or, in true Corvette fashion, offer the carbon ceramic brakes as a highly desirable option. The carbon ceramics would be a strategic upgrade, providing superior thermal stability and fade resistance for repeated high-speed braking events, while also reducing valuable unsprung mass at the corners of the vehicle. This reduction in mass would further enhance the car's handling response and ride quality, providing tangible performance benefits that justify the Grand Sport's premium positioning above the Stingray. Inside the cabin, the 2026 Grand Sport would benefit from the technology refresh introduced across the 2026 C8 lineup, including the modernized triple-screen digital cockpit. This includes the larger 14.0-inch Driver Information Center, DIC, and the 12.7-inch central infotainment screen with the integrated Google built-in operating system. The driver-focused nature of the interior remains, with the vertical spine separating the driver and passenger, though the Grand Sport is expected to offer exclusive interior materials and color combinations not available on the base Stingray, bridging the gap toward the Z06's level of luxury. Standard features would include magnetic selective ride control, MRC 4.0, the Performance Data Recorder, PDR, for lap analysis, and a head-up display, all necessary tools for the performance enthusiast. The GT2 seats, with their enhanced bolstering and comfort, would likely be standard, providing the perfect balance of support for track driving and cushioning for long drives. The real-world driving experience is what truly defines the Grand Sport. It is the perfect daily driver track car, where the Z06's flat-plane crank engine is a manic, high-strung, screaming exotic that demands to be driven at 8,600 RPM. The Grand Sport offers a far more flexible personality. The immense low-end torque from the LT2 V8 is always available, making the car a joy to drive around town without constantly demanding a downshift. Yet when pointed towards an open stretch of road or the entry to a banked turn, the wide chassis, the sticky Pilot Sport 4S tires, the active dampers, and the huge brakes all work in harmony to deliver a handling experience that is immensely fast, confidence-inspiring, and yet remarkably forgiving. It handles the power brilliantly, offering a high degree of predictability at the limit, a characteristic that makes it easier and less intimidating for drivers to push hard on a local track. Day than the Extreme Z06. The Grand Sport is less about chasing the ultimate lap record, and more about maximizing the enjoyment of the drive, a philosophy rooted in the history of the nameplate. It is the practical choice for the Corvette enthusiast who genuinely uses their car both for the commute and the weekend canyon run, valuing the fusion of capability and comfort without the complexity or aggressive sound profile of the Z06. In the evolving landscape of the C8, the Grand Sport is not just another trim, it is the most cohesive and balanced interpretation of the mid-engine architecture for the road. Thank you for tuning into Car Show for this deep dive into the anticipated 2026 Corvette Grand Sport. Drive safe, and we'll catch you next time.